So I haven't been in front of the camera for a while, and that's just because I got sick and I lost all my hair, and you know, that confident stuff is going on. But my hair is coming back, obviously, and I'm back in front of the camera. So bear with me, it'll take me a minute. But so today we're talking about 4 different things. One is Elon Musk wants to make sure he can't get fired from SpaceX. The second one is Google and SpaceX are collaborating for data centers in space. Also, we'll talk about the Tesla, the FSD gaining momentum in Europe. And I want to talk about the Cybercab car wash. It's coming to Vegas, and that's where I'm living in. So the car wash is coming to Vegas, and it's going to be all autonomous, and just might be some Optimus robots in there, but I'm excited about that. So stay tuned. Now, this is an article by GW Wire. Now listen to this. Elon Musk cannot be fired from SpaceX, and there's a reason for that. In a post on X on Friday, Elon Musk confirmed plans to structurally shield his leadership at SpaceX, ensuring he cannot be fired while tying a potential $1 trillion compensation package to the company's long-term goal of establishing a self-sustaining colony on Mars. Now, the revelation stems from a Financial Times report detailing SpaceX's intention to restructure its governance and compensation framework. Now, the moves are designed to protect Musk's control and align his incentives with the company's founding mission rather than short-term financial pressures. And this is what Musk replied. He said, "Yes, I need to make sure SpaceX stays focused on making life multiplanetary and extending consciousness to the stars, not pandering to someone's bullshit quarterly earnings bonus." And he also added that success in this absurdly difficult goal would generate value many orders of magnitude more than the economy of Earth. But he cautioned that the journey will not be smooth. Don't expect entirely smooth sailing along the way, Musk wrote. Now, the strategy reflects Musk's deep concerns about how public market expectations could derail SpaceX's core objectives. Now, founded in 2002, SpaceX has repeatedly stated its purpose is to reduce the cost of space travel and ultimately make humanity a multi-planetary species. Unlike Tesla, which went public in 2010 and has faced repeated battles over Musk's compensation and board influence, SpaceX remained privately held. Obviously, Musk has long resisted taking the rocket company public precisely to avoid the quarterly earnings treadmill that forces most CEOs to prioritize short-term stock performance over ambitions and high-risk projects. And think about it. By not giving in to short-term stock movements, this will be so much bigger at the end. And by embedding protections against his removal and linking any outsized pay package to verifiable milestones such as a functioning Mars colony, SpaceX aims to insulate its leadership from activist investors or board members who might demand faster profits or safer bets. Also, his last experiences have taught Elon a different approach. Musk has referenced past experiences, including his ouster from OpenAI and shareholder lawsuits at Tesla, as cautionary tales. In most cases, he argued, external pressures like diluting the original version. Critics may view the arrangement as excessive, especially given Musk's already substantial voting power and wealth. Supporters, however, argue it is a necessary safeguard for the company pursuing goals measured in decades rather than quarters. Let me know what your opinion is in the comments. However, it continues now. Achieving a Mars colony would require sustained investments in Starship development, orbital refueling, life support systems, and on-site resource utilization technologies that may deliver no immediate financial returns. Musk's post underscores a broader philosophical point. True breakthrough innovation often demands tolerance for volatility and a willingness to ignore conventional business wisdom. Absolutely. And as SpaceX prepares for increasingly ambitious Starship test flights and eventually crewed missions, the new governance structure signals that the company's North Star remains unchanged. Humanity's expansion beyond Earth. Whether the trillion-dollar pay package materializes depends on the execution. Musk's message is clear. SpaceX exists to reach the stars, not to chase the next earnings beat. So let's talk about data centers in space. So Google and SpaceX have just collaborated, and this is going to push that forward. It was really big last week. I'm excited about it. Let's get to it. Now, this is by the Wall Street Journal. It says the two companies are currently in talks for a rocket launch deal to support the placement of data centers in orbit as part of their push into space-based computing. Both SpaceX and Google are in the process of ironing out the details of a potential partnership, a new report from the Wall Street Journal says. The two companies are currently in talks for a rocket launch deal to support the placement of data centers in orbit as a part of their push into space-based computing. In a move that blends cutting-edge AI demands with the final frontier of space exploration, Google is in exclusive talks with Elon Musk's SpaceX for a rocket launch deal to deploy data centers in orbit. The Wall Street Journal was reporting on May 12 that the discussion marked Google's aggressive expansion into space-based computing, addressing the exploding energy needs for artificial intelligence as that terrestrial infrastructure can no longer sustain. Now, the catalyst for potential deal is clear. AI's voracious appetite for electricity. Global data centers consumed about 415 terawatt hours of electricity in 2024, roughly 1.5% of worldwide usage, according to the International Energy Agency. That figure is projected to more than double to around 945 terawatt hours by 2030, with AI-focused servers growing at 30% annually, outpacing overall electricity demand growth by more than 4 times. Some forecasts peg data center consumption exceeds 1,000 terawatt hours by 2026, equal to Japan's entire national electricity use. And a single large AI training facility can draw as much power as 100,000 homes on Earth. This translates to a grid overload, skyrocketing costs, land shortages, and massive water demands for cooling constraints that threaten to throttle AI progress. Orbital data centers promise a radical workaround. However, in space, satellites can harness constant, unobstructed sunlight for power. Solar panels generate roughly 5 times more energy in orbit than on the ground, with no night cycles or atmospheric inference. Excess heat radiates harmless into the vacuum of space, eliminating energy-intensive cooling systems and water usage. No terrestrial land or power grid is required, freeing operations from regulatory and environmental bottlenecks. Musk has long said that space-based AI is obviously the only way to scale, and he wrote on X, global electricity demand for AI simply cannot be met with terrestrial solutions. In the long term, space-based AI is obviously the only way to scale. He has also repeatedly highlighted solar advantages. Space has the advantage that it's always sunny, and any given solar panel is going to give you about 5 times more power in space than on the ground. Musk predicted in early 2026 that in 36 months, but probably closer to 30 months, the most economically compelling place to put AI will be in space, adding that within 5 years, annual space launch AI compute could surpass Earth's cumulative total. SpaceX will be doing this, he said, when discussing scaled-up Starlink satellites with high-speed laser links for orbital data transfer. Meanwhile, Google has been quietly advancing a similar vision under its Project Suncatcher, and we talked about this in this video I'm going to post above. Its internal moonshot initiative. CEO Sundar Pichai PI has described plans to launch 2 prototype satellites equipped with Tensor Processing Units, TPUs, by early 2027 for testing thermal management and reliably in orbit. In interviews, PI has called orbital computing a potential normal way to build data centers within a decade, enabled by launch and cost reductions. SpaceX is actually uniquely positioned to make this a reality. The company recently filed with the FCC to launch up to 1 million satellites dedicated to orbital data centers at an altitude between 500 to 2,000 kilometers, projecting capacity for 100 gigawatts of AI compute. And now the FCC accepted SpaceX's filing for 1 million orbital data center plan. Radiation-hardened hardware, laser-based inter-satellite and Earth downlink communications, launch economics, and orbital debris management are key hurdles at this point. Yet early movers like StarCloud, which trained the first large language model in orbit in late 2025, rivals including Amazon and Blue Origin are exploring similar paths. But SpaceX's Starship and Starlink heritage gives it a launch cadence edge. However, this partnership could redefine AI infrastructure, turning the skies into the next data center frontier. As Earth's power limit loom, Musk's vision combined with Google's ambition could position space not as sci-fi, but as the scalable solution for humanity's computational future. So Tesla's full self-driving FSD is gaining momentum in Europe. Now, I'm from Germany, and it's really exciting to see because now all these little countries come in and they're starting to add first supervised FSD, but eventually it'll be all autonomous. So let's get to it. Now, this is by not a Tesla app. Now, Tesla's is advancing FSD technology across Europe, with fresh talks underway in Ireland signal broader regulatory progress. On May 10, Ireland's Department of Transportation confirmed that Tesla is actively engaging with national authorities, including the National Standards Authority of Ireland, NSAI, to secure approval for FSD supervised. Tesla's full self-driving FSD technology is gaining momentum in Europe, with yet another new country mulling a potential approval for operation on its road. Now, Tesla is advancing FSD technology across Europe, with fresh talks underway in Ireland, signaling broader regulatory progress. On May 10, Ireland's Department of Transportation confirmed that Tesla is actively engaging with national authorities, including the National Standards Authority of Ireland, to secure approval for FSD supervised. While the department noted that the full rollout in Ireland would ultimately depend on EU-level clearance, the engagement marks a notable step forward in Tesla's European expansion strategy, according to the Irish media outlet RTE. Now, the news comes on the heels of a landmark breakthrough in the Netherlands. In April, Dutch Vehicle Authority RDW granted the first ever EU type approval for FSD supervised after 18 months of rigorous testing on public roads and tracks. Now, the provisional approval allows the system on all Dutch roads, with Tesla already rolling it out to select owners following mandatory safety training. Europe has long lagged behind the United States, China, and other markets where FSD is more widely available. Strict EU regulations on automated driving systems have required extensive validation, but momentum is building. Tesla now lists the Netherlands alongside established markets such as the US, Canada, Australia, and South Korea on its regional FSD page. Other countries, including Belgium, are reportedly fast-tracking their own review processes in response. Analysts see Ireland's involvement as strategic. Now, as a smaller EU member with unique road challenges, successful validation there could demonstrate FSD adaptability and strengthen the case for harmonized EU approval. Tesla has indicated it aims for broader EU deployment as early as summer 2026, though the timeline remains fluid. Discussions at the EU's Technical Committee on Motor Vehicles continue, with a possible vote later this year. Some member states, particularly in Scandinavia, have expressed reservations over edge cases like speeding protocols and long-term safety data. For Tesla, the European expansion is more than a software update. It unlocks significant growth. The continent's dense population and high vehicle ownership could accelerate data collection, refine the AI model powering FSD, and pave the way for unsupervised autonomy and RoboTaxi services. Now, owners stand to benefit from enhanced safety features and reduced driver fatigue, while regulators weigh innovation against proven risk reduction. Early Dutch results always cite safety improvements, but the work is far from done, and challenges are still present. FSD supervised still requires driver attention and a readiness to intervene. EU rules emphasize that the technology is not fully autonomous, placing legal responsibility on the human operator. Tesla must also navigate varying national roads conditions and public perception. Nevertheless, the Ireland talks underscore a clear trajectory, one national approval at a time. Europe is inching closer to widespread FSD access. Tesla's persistent engagement with regulators is starting to pay off, and it suggests the company is still heavily committed to the expansion efforts across Europe, despite the red tape it has had to persist through. So Tesla's building the Cybercab car wash in Vegas, and I'm from Vegas. I live in Vegas. And it's going to be in Henderson, which is about 40 minutes away from where I live. But I'm excited about it because it's going to be all autonomous. It's going to be really interesting to watch. And, Tesla is always accelerating when it comes to something like that. So this is by Tesla Hubs. Now, Tesla is beginning to construct what will be an incredible, unique project, as it is now building a 36,000 square foot car wash just for the Cybercab in Clark County, Nevada, near Las Vegas. Now, Tesla quietly filed plans to build the Cybercab car wash, and on May 12, the company submitted a permit to begin renovating the Tesla Center Cybercab Phase 2 car wash. This is not just some ordinary car wash. Instead, it is a dedicated high-tech maintenance hub built specifically for Tesla ride-hailing vehicles and the many units that will be in the fleet. According to the permit documents, which were first spotted by Marco RP on X, the work involves upgraded and updated the interior and exterior of an existing 36,000 square foot facility. Crews will construct a full car wash enclosure, relocating tire service equipment, and install new power raceways. Now, we know how important Tesla's cameras are, so even every camera on the Cybercab must be clean. And without a human driver to perform manual maintenance on a vehicle, this Cybercab-specific car wash will be crucial in keeping the fleet operational, safe, and effective. And we know that industry skeptics have long questions how a massive RoboTaxi network could scale without drivers handling basic upkeep. But as investors, we remember when Elon and Tesla introduced the Cybercab car wash at an investors meeting, and now Tesla has answered skeptics with a permit filing. This could be the first of several such hubs, with similar plans already designed for Texas. Now, a purpose-built RoboTaxi wash station means fleets can cycle vehicles through cleaning, charging, and minor servicing at lightning speed with almost no human intervention. Optimus robots could eventually handle the physical work, turning the entire operations into a 24/7 machine. I can't wait to see that. Also, Las Vegas, with its endless tourist traffic and wide open roads, is the perfect proving ground. Critics who claimed robotaxis would get filthy and unreliable now look short-sighted. However, it'll be interesting to see how many of these types of facilities the company establishes, especially as it plans for the robotaxi fleet to be available everywhere. Now, if the permit moves forward as expected, Las Vegas could witness the first large-scale, fully autonomous taxi operations complete with its own cleaning infrastructure. As soon as Tesla solves wireless charging, we're looking at a very capable and potentially full autonomous ride-sharing business. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And if you want to know more about Elon Musk and his companies, you could click here next. And don't forget to tune in next time with more updates on Tesla, Elon Musk, and his other companies. My name is Claudia. Goodbye.